If you hear odd noises in the background on this video, that's simply the rain. It's raining heavily outside. Not that that's a big deal. I like the rain. We were just about to start filming and my producer was giving me a scolding because I'm supposed to tell you that this video is definitely going to be about guns. I tend to ramble, and so apparently a lot of you stop watching because you want to watch a video about guns. So please stick with the video because there will be guns in this video. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 guns on the table. But before I begin, I met a great guy, a gentleman named Chuck. I was selling him a Swiss rifle that I had used for the channel. I can't keep all those rifles, so mostly I just let them go at a loss. And I met him and he was talking about how much he appreciated the channel and so on, which is always great. But he reminded me of something which I wanted to mention at least, and that is the number of times that I've been at ranges where I meet people from all over the world that come here and go to our ranges, and the countries they come from, they're not allowed to own firearms, or there are all kinds of restrictions. They usually try to explain to me all their laws. Sometimes I understand, sometimes I don't. But I appreciate all those people that are on the channel and at the range, and I have to say, Chuck, for sure, we didn't talk long enough, sorry about that. But yeah, the people from mainland China, and I don't know what the laws are there or the laws in Taiwan, but they are amazing. They have such an interest in firearms and usually have first-class equipment or first-class shots, and I'm so glad that all of these people are here. So I wanted to share that with you, and I think the most enthusiastic gun owners are the people that are unaccustomed to the freedoms that we enjoy. And ironically, while the world is coming here to have freedoms, it seems that we're busy trying to get rid of those freedoms, which is strange. But anyway, that's another issue. Today's video is about Russian firearms. Actually, I can't say firearms because I don't have that many, but I have quite a few people from Russia or in Russia that are on the channel. And so yeah, I do have some rifles and shotguns, and I'll start with this 22. Now before filming, I thought, okay, I better know what it is and so on. This is a superbly accurate 22. I shot it, I don't know, 500-600 times. You can see they got around to putting a ramp front sight on by flaring the muzzle. Russian firearms, and I generally, don't like to generalize using the word twice, but this is a very clever way of getting the front sight high enough without screwing on a ramp or doing something else. I'm not sure exactly why it's so accurate. There's a dovetail for the rear sight, which reminds me of a Berno a bit. The action itself is just a simple 22, but the stock, I'm sure, reminds some of you at least in terms of the wood and the finish of a mossin-nagant, and I'll just frustrate the camera people by switching guns. I took out a mossin-nagant because the rifles from the USSR, for the younger viewers, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, I hope I have that right, they have this kind of finish on the wood, which it has a certain character. This is the hex receiver. I like these mossin-nagants a lot, which is interesting because they're not necessarily the most expensive firearms. But getting back to the 22, why is it so accurate? I was saying, so it has a removable magazine. That's steel. I'll just set it down here. Maybe we can film that. I'm not sure if that electro pencil is from the factory. I think it's after the factory, but anyway, magazine is solid. The whole rifle is excellent. And one of the points I wanted to make about firearms from the USSR or Russia is no matter which one you buy, and I'll turn this so you can see the bottom, no matter which one you buy, they all have that feeling of indestructibility. And if you take this apart, it's made out of the lowest number of components of the highest quality. Fit and finish is different from the West because their economy is, well, it was based on a different concept from ours. And on the receiver ring, I don't even know if we can film this, but if you can, I should open the action. You'll see on the receiver it says made in USSR. And I looked all over this 22 for a model number, and I'm sure there is one, but I don't know what it is. But it's TOZ, T-O-Z is the factory. And I have another shotgun which I'm going to show you in a second. So if you can buy one of these, and if you want to have a 22 that is extremely rugged, including, I don't know what this is, probably 10 or 12 lines per inch checkering, and I'm not making fun of it because it works. It's great. Anyway, I like this 22. Oh, and I was at the range maybe half a year ago, and there was a fellow from Russia. I can't remember his first name, but we were chatting about the fall of communism and so on. And it was quite interesting to me that he said, you know, capitalism is great, but he also said all of his, or most of his friends back home would prefer if they returned to the old system. It was just an interesting comment that I don't know what that means. Here's a TOZ over and under. I hunted with this, not this exact shotgun, but with this model, which is a 34, TOZ 34. This one doesn't have ejectors, but everything about this shotgun is excellent. You'll notice no hinge pin, very shallow receiver as a result. And in case you're not familiar with the over and under shotgun game, they're always trying to make the receiver shallower. I mean, ultimately it should be not much shallower, deeper than the barrels. And this one accomplishes that by having no hinge pin. I'll show you how it rides. So if you can focus in on this little curved piece of steel, that's an arcing rail. I don't know what else you would call it. And that replaces the hinge pin. So there's no hinge pin to wear out. The forend is permanently attached to the barrels. And I'll show you the coolest feature of this shotgun. I hope I can do it smoothly. You flip this lever down and you work the top lever and this. There you go. This whole shotgun comes apart. Now naturally when you're filming these things, there's a rule that it can't go as smoothly as it would in the field, but and it goes back together easily, but I won't even attempt that while we're filming. So what did I show you? An excellent bolt action, excellent over and under. Is this USSR or Russia? This is USSR. This one's chrome plated. This stock has sort of that mossin-nagant look, but I think somebody's been after it with something. It still looks good. I actually have 3 of these, but I thought I'll bring out the chrome one just because it probably looks the best. And the other 2 look more like the mossin-nagant, but I mean, these are extremely rugged shotguns. I'm not sure exactly how you wear out these firearms. Kind of like the AK, I suppose. Anyway, that reminded me of something that the fellow told me, so I shared that with you about. Oh, he told me about a rifle which I already knew about, the Medved. And we should watch the market because apparently with COVID and everything, governments are looking for cash, and quite a few guns may be coming out of state arsenals. And you could look on Google for Medved, M-E-D-V-E-D. I saw one somewhere, handled it. It's a very interesting AK variant in a, I think it was a 9mm cartridge, something like a 35 Remington, maybe a little longer. Anyway, we can watch for those. I'd buy one in a heartbeat. So Medved, we looked at the Mosin. Oh yeah, now, so this one is a TAS 99. It's actually stamped right on the receiver. Now this is made in Russia. I don't know if we can, so, you know, we don't have the best equipment, but if we can focus in on made in Russia there. And this is a typical, you know, semi-automatic blowback. In some ways it reminds me of a German model. I tried to get it to jam using all kinds of ammunition and weird ammunition and dirty ammunition. It came with 2 magazines. It has a threaded muzzle. It's got a nice cap on it right now. And I couldn't get it to jam. It's just an excellent rifle, and you can see that it no longer has the mossin-nagant look to it. I'm going to flip it around in a second. It has a cheek piece, and you know, this is no Holland and Holland finish, but this is definitely upgraded, if that's what you want to call it, from the prior models made in the Soviet Union. Anyway, bravo to the gun makers in Russia, and from the letters I receive, I know it's a fantastic hunting country, all kinds of opportunities. Too bad there isn't, you know, more communication between and amongst countries, not just through governments. And the last thing I'll talk about very briefly is several letters about single, you know, how to vote when you have only one issue in mind, single issue voting. And my opinion is real simple. It doesn't matter what your single issue is. If there's a party that supports your single issue and has all kinds of other positions on other issues that you don't agree with, but they support your single issue, I see no problem with supporting that party. So more specifically, the people that would like to vote for the party most likely to defend the rights of firearms owners, I think that it's quite fine, logical, makes sense to me to vote for that party, whoever that is and wherever that is and in whatever country that is. Anyway, that's a lot for one video. I hope there's some sense to it all. Thanks again, Chuck, for a great but short conversation. And thanks for all you shooters from around the world that come over here and enjoy our freedoms. Hopefully we don't throw them away. And for the people that are celebrating Thanksgiving, I guess up in Canada, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you all next time. Take care.